Is this thing on? I hope that wasn't really loud. Welcome back to That Reminds Me. I'm your co-host, Johnson Sinatra, here with my wonderful co-host.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Majed. Comment ça va?
Oh, God. I'm getting flashbacks to the plane.
Comment ça va?
They all speak French.
Ça va bien.
I don't know what you're saying to me.
Est-ce que je peux aller toilette?
I don't need a toilet.
Bibliothèque? And that's why I failed
Is that
French.
Spanish?
Yeah. Anywho, welcome back to Oh That Reminds Me. I'm Majed_. In case you didn't know, because you don't know what French is. And
Facts.
we're back again with another episode. John, guess what number it is?
This is going to be...
Don't look. Guess.
Episode 70?
No. You don't think we would point out if it was episode 69?
I was trying to remember, and I felt like we did.
No. It is episode 63 of the podcast.
Episode 63.
And nothing interesting happened this weekend at all.
No, you had nothing going on?
Casual weekend.
Just casual, just normal?
Casual.
Just like,
Stayed in Canada the whole time.
was it like boring?
You stayed in Canada the whole time.
I was in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those
John
of you who don't know.
kidnapped me. And
You
threatened my
kidnapped me.
life.
You didn't kidnap me, you just picked me up.
I just
But-
picked you up once.
Yeah,
But I didn't crash.
I went to Canada, you didn't crash, you're actually good at driving. So
Whoa,
good job.
whoa. Thank you.
At one point, you did threaten my life and whip the wheel to the side, which was kind of funny.
Hey,
Um,
that could have went really badly.
we
but it
respect it for the
didn't.
bit. It was like a little. I say whip it to the side. It was a little whoop, whoop,
Ooh.
whoop.
But yes, how was your time in the land of the maple syrup?
My time in Canada was fantabulous. This time, which like other times it also didn't fully, but this time it really didn't feel like a trip or like a vacation. It kind of just feels like home, which is weird, but just like that's where my friends are, you know.
Yes, sir.
So that
Home
was fun.
isn't a place; it's people.
So that was fun, and
That's some like white kitchen board thing.
there's a
some
non-zero
mother-
chance that's like posted up in my house right now.
Hey, you're welcome. Designed it myself.
But yeah, it was fun. You know, the airplanes were safe and chill and fine. Sure, the flight back there was a crying baby, and then when we landed, there was 2 crying babies, and my Madam Web subtitles kept cutting out, so I couldn't watch Madam Web anymore because I
I
didn't have
remember
plug-in
hearing a
headphones.
crying child and being like, God, I would hate to be on a plane, but I can't recall where the crying child was.
Dude, it was like the very second the plane started, the child began crying, and then
Go.
what were you saying?
I was just going to say kids are cute.
Crying children are cute.
Yeah. Some kids are really cute.
Not when they're like, no! Screaming for their mother the entire time
See,
and crying.
Maybe I have empathy for them because that will be me when I take my flight in February. I don't like planes. They're not very fun.
I feel bad for them. Just like, don't cry near me. Cry like further away on the plane. But yeah, the flight there was smooth and nice. And should I just jump into like everything we did?
See,
But like not
there's
doxing.
there's 2 things I want to mention, but I don't know what the best flow is. I want you to rate my driving from 1 to 10 and give me an Uber rating. And then I want you to do your W's and the L's. So I feel like WL's after everything.
Bet. So you're driving. I would rate.
Wait, you know what? Go in the days, and then
Go in the
when
days.
you get to me driving.
Okay.
Yes.
So first day, I wake up. I had to pack my bags because I procrastinated, and then the night before I like picked out all the outfits that I wanted, and I was like, okay, I gotta do laundry because some of this I gotta wash. And so I did laundry, and when I put it in the dryer, I went to bed, woke up, packed my bags and everything, did like 5 loops around my room, just making sure I had everything. Get to the airport. I get in line for security, and it's like a really big line. I'm there super early, so it's not a big deal, but I'm in this really big line. And then while I'm in line, this guy comes over and he just goes like, "Yo, does anyone want to like skip security? We're giving out free trials to just skip security." I'm like,
Which is crazy. How do you
that.
skip security?
I'm like, that sounds like a scam.
But let's do
um,
it.
and then I look around me and no one else is doing it, and I was like, you know what? I have a podcast. This could make for a
Oh,
story.
you did this for the podcast?
So, I mean, yeah, just for the like, what could happen? Because in my mind, I was like, all right, airports are government owned or controlled, I believe. There's no way there's a literal scam like set up here. You know what I mean? So I
How
was like,
early of a flight are you at? Like
I
two
am there.
hours,
It
3
is it
hours?
is 10:30, and my flight takes off at like it was like 1:55 or something p.m.
Okay, so if
So I'm
anything
there
went
like plenty
back
early.
wrong, you had
Yeah,
time to get
I
back
could
in
just get
security.
I could just get back in line and go through normal. Um, so this guy leads me out the line. Then he walks me over to this screen, and we start doing this thing. It's called Clear. No free promo though. Even though I just did free promo, uh, please pay me. Anyways, um, I had to like scan 2 of my fingers, and then they like scanned my eyes, and they like took a picture of me,
So there's gonna
and
be a clone
then
of you somewhere.
I yeah, somewhere out there there's about to be another one of me just walking around. And then I had to put my email in, and then I had to put my like debit card in, right? And this is where I'm like, I'm smarter than
This
this.
feels like a scam to me.
This is yeah, it is a scam, and I'll get to that. But it's like also not a scam, but it's a scam. Anyways, so put my debit card in, and then as it asked me for the debit card, I like remade sure. I was like, this is a free trial, right? And he was like, yeah, don't worry, just put it in. So I put it in, and then he brings me over to this second area, and it like gives me to this lady, and then this lady tells me to follow her. Now, this lady, very unprofessional, made it feel like it was a scam more. She is on the phone trying to FaceTime her friends with an AirPod in while walking me
What?
through the
On
airport
the
to wherever I'm
airport?
going. Yeah, while working actively. So then I'm just following her, and then she brings me to this security line that has like 2 people in it instead of like a really long line with a bunch of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just keep following her because she doesn't say anything. And then I almost got in trouble because I walked past. There was a guy who was talking to someone, and he was the guy who like scans your boarding pass to make sure like, oh yeah, you have a flight, you can keep going through the airport.
Yeah.
But she didn't tell me anything or that I was in the right place, so I just kept following her. And the guy was like, "Yo, your boarding pass, sir, your boarding pass." So I was like, "Jesus Christ, my bad." And then the lady left, so then I scanned my boarding pass, and then
So
I walked.
the only thing you had to do with that girl was follow her.
Yeah, I just had to follow her.
Oh, okay.
And then scan my boarding, like the guy scans my boarding pass, and then I basically walk forward, and there's like lines of security going like to my left, and then I'm in like the rightmost security line basically, right? Um and they hold up the normal security line and like tell everyone to stop, and then they like let my line through. So there was like 2 people in front of me, and then they let me through. And then when I walked up, instead of having to, because I also had to scan my passport. I forgot when I like scanned my fingers and everything. Basically, instead of having to like show my passport and do this, that, the other thing at security, you walk up, it takes a picture of your face, like it knows the system, and then it
It's
goes,
all
okay, yeah, you're
automatic.
yeah, and then the guy just goes like, "You're good to go," and I just walk through faster. Um, walk through, get my bag, put my bag and my shoes on, get them scanned. I'm all good to go. Get that stuff back. boom, I'm through. Then I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, what would the scam be? Because they just did what they said they were gonna do. I just got through security faster. So like there has to be some sort of catch to this, right? And then I
Mm-hmm.
finally clocked it. I've gotten like no email. I haven't been like contacted or anything at all since I went through like by this company, right? So then I myself have to Google the name of the company, which thankfully I remembered, and then find their website. Then on their website, you have to go to log in and then press forgot password because you never made an account. Then there's a different button to create a password if you never like had an account, right? Because you did it here at the airport. So
Mm-hmm.
then you type in your email. Then I got like emailed a thing to create a password. So then I make a password. Then I go back, log in, and then I realized that I did clock what the scam was. Basically, the free trial only lasts that day, and the very next day you will be charged for an annual membership, which is very expensive.
What the hell?
And you don't get contacted by them via email or anything that like you have an account now, so you have to like Google it yourself and be smart enough to then make an account and then cancel the free trial before the next day. And I'm assuming they just hope that you're stressed from being at the airport or like exhausted from traveling and stuff, and you won't notice, and then you'll pay for it. Which it's like,
How much is it? Do you remember?
let me look it up real quick.
That's crazy. To have that at the airport too.
Yeah, because it's like yeah, $200 a year. So
What? So wait, it would charge you $200 the next day?
So yeah, the very next day you would be charged $200.
That's a scam.
So
Yeah, no, yeah,
if
yeah.
you travel a lot and you either like don't want to pay for pre-check or like something, I don't know how pre-check works. I think you have to like pay for an application and then like be on a waiting list and then you get approved, blah blah blah. But
Whoa.
if you like don't want to get pre-check and you travel a lot, sure, it seems like it's a good thing.
Or like if you're
Um,
late for a flight.
yeah,
Yeah.
but or if you're late for a flight, the like free trial, yeah, or I mean, I guess you can pay the cost. Maybe there's like a monthly you could do or something. I don't know. Um, but for my purpose, which is I don't fly very often, and I don't even know if they have it in all airports or not, but I am glad that I figured out the scam and canceled it because if it charged me $200, that would have sucked a lot.
But that's illegal to like chart. Like you were informed. Like, did you sign like a? Did you check
because
off a thing that you didn't read?
you put what's called you put in your debit card and you're like told it's a trial.
Yeah,
So
but they.
you like have to know that like when the trial ends, like you'll be charged like most trials work.
Mm, I
You
guess
just have
yeah.
to be smart enough to like finish creating
We
your
get it. You're
account on
smart.
your
Okay.
own. No, I'm just saying like there's people who wouldn't think of that
Like
or like I
old
said,
people.
yeah, old people or if you're stressed traveling, if you're exhausted because you're traveling, if English isn't your first language, people are just like, yo, you can get through security, whatever, and you just follow them. Like all these things can happen and then you just get charged the $200 without realizing it. So I'm glad I figured that out. But scammers get scammed. I got through security. Y'all got no money. Get fucked. Um, yeah. Then the rest of the flight was actually no. I need to make one more complaint. When I went and I sat down at my gate, I was like, "Oh, this area looks fine. There's not really anyone sitting here." And I figured out why no one was sitting there. It smelled like human shit. I don't
What?
know. I don't know what the fuck happened. That was one of the worst smells I have ever smelled in my life. Oh my god. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with it. Then I moved from that seat to one that was closer to the window. It still smelled. So then I had to go all the way across like the area that I was in to the like right side windows instead of the left side windows. And then finally it didn't smell. And I was like, holy shit, thank God. Because if I had to sit there for hours in that stench, I I don't think I'd make it to Canada.
Airport be crazy.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I looked around like I genuinely could not figure it out, but
That was like today. I walked into school and I just smelled like manure.
yeah, it's just
I was like,
shit nasty.
yeehaw, people.
Yeah, then flight went fine. I land, hit up Jade because she's gonna be the one picking me up, and I'm like, yo, I'm here. She was
Now,
parked
this
like
entire time, I was rushing to make cookies because I wanted to make cookies, and I didn't realize how long the cookies would be because I had to make the cookies from scratch, and then I had to cut up apples, and then I had to saute the apples with cinnamon, and then the apples were too. When I did the apples, I sauteed it while I was cooking the cookies, and the cookies finished before I finished with the apples, and then my stove also, because of Thanksgiving, kept smoking because oils went to the bottom of the oven, so then it was smoking, so every time I opened it, the fire alarm would go off, so then I had to open every single door, and I locked Milo downstairs so he wouldn't get out. And then it kept smoking, and then I made the cookies, and then I put them in, and I finished it at the last few seconds.
somehow you had a more stressful experience
I
than I did.
did.
And I
Get
flew
very
all the way.
stressful when I bake or cook.
Yeah, then I what's it called? So I text Jade that I landed. She was parked like 10 minutes away or whatever because you paying for parking at the airport is expensive, and if you don't pay and you sit on the side for too long, then you get a ticket, which is also very expensive. So fuck that. Um, so then I'm like, all right, she's 10 minutes away. I'm standing on the side. I'm looking out for her car, which I will not describe, but I'm like trying to
Yeah,
find it.
looking for that Ferrari,
Yep, yep.
red.
Looking for the Rolls Royce that's about to pull up.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. There's like a couple cars that are the same color of her Rolls Royce, and I'm like, oh, is that it? And I'm like, nope, not the Rolls Royce. Then I see the exact color and the same brand of her car. Now, I'm not a car person, so I don't know if it was the same car. I assume so. They all look kind of similar to me, but it was the same brand, the same color, and all I can see is the driver pointing like towards me. And so I'm like, "Oh, that's Jade, right?
Oh
She's
no.
here." Then like half a second later, they get a little closer. I'm like, "Oh, Jade brought a passenger. That's exciting. I don't know who else is here to pick me up. I thought it was just going to be Jade because she was on her way home from work, but I guess not. That's exciting." Then they get a little closer, and I go, "That's an elderly couple."
So you just
So
called
Jade
Jade
is
old.
here, and she's
Yes.
she's here to pick me up. No, I was like, okay, that's an elderly couple. No idea who the fuck they're going for. I'm gonna back up a little bit more because I started like getting on the curb, ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not her at all. Then I'm like sitting there for a little bit longer. I go on my phone, I like open Twitter, whatever, get a little distracted. Then I look up and I look to my right, and having just passed me is also the same color and same brand of car that Jade drives.
Yeah, her car's very popular.
Yeah, exactly. So then I was like, haha, that'd be funny if it was Jade. Good thing it's not. And I like go back to looking for other cars and like looking at my phone and stuff. Then my phone goes off. I'm getting called on Discord by Jade. So then I'm like, oh, I pick up the Discord call, and the car was Jade, and she's now on the complete other end of the
Oh
bend of the
no.
airport. And I was looking at my phone the 1 second she drove by and missed it. And she offered to drive back around in a circle, but I was like, nah, it's fine. Like I can just walk. So then I started walking, and then like halfway to three-quarters of the way on the walk, I kind of thought, damn, this was a really long walk. I wish I had to just loop around, but it was fine. And hopped into Schwip, and yeah, got to driving, and then um, Umer had texted her something, and she has Apple CarPlay.
Bro, Apple
So
CarPlay is literally terrifying. I texted my sister while I'm like in the car with her a photo of cows because we saw cows and she loves
uh-huh.
cows. And the she clicks I was like, "Oh, what happens? What does it say like when you click on my name?" Because it reads out the messages normally, but it's a
Uh-huh.
photo. And the fucking thing went, Mackenzie sent an image of cows on a field
Oh my
on a
God.
nice blue sunny day. And I was like, what the hell? And then I sent a photo of Milo and it was like, Mackenzie sent a cute cat cuddled on a blanket. And I was like,
What the fuck?
this is creepy.
It just knows.
Yeah.
Um,
Anywho, continue.
but yeah, he texted her something, and then she wanted Umer to say hi to me. So then she said, like, "Hey Siri, text or like say hi to John. That's what she said. She said say hi to John. And so it pulls up my contact with the text message hi and goes send hi to John. And she just goes yes. So I just get text hi while in the car with her because Siri got a little confused with what Jade wanted her to do.
More like Jade got confused, didn't specify.
So yeah, the ride to the hotel was nice. I show up to the hotel. Jade drops me off. She leaves. Oh, Jade? Is that Jade? We were just talking about her.
We were just talking about Jade. Jade.
Say hi to John.
Say hi to John.
Hello, John.
He was telling me how you texted him hi on the way home from picking him up.
I didn't mean to.
She said she didn't mean to. How was picking up John in your eyes?
It went well. We got the job done.
She said it went well.
It went well. We got the job done. Is she a fucking hitman?
I can't answer that question. If you're a hitman.
I went to Liam Payne's memorial, but I didn't get to go because the park was pitch black. So we went all the way down there for no reason.
Oh.
What happened? That
for me, baby. You know I love when the music down. You going to strip that down for me.
In case you can't hear, Jade said that she went down to Liam Payne's memorial, but it was pitch black, so she went down there for no reason, and then she started to sing "Strip That Down," and we'll get into Liam Payne later on into the podcast episode.
Yes.
Because I didn't mean what I said in the last episode.
Anyways, so yeah, brought me to the hotel. Then I walk in. I'm like waiting for someone. Someone else walks up to the desk. I'm like, yo, I'm here to check in. The guy's like, there's a lady when I was checking in. She was like, yo.
She said, yo?
Yeah, she said, yo, wagwan, fam. Yo, Crody, you checking in? And she was like, yeah, you just give me a card. Got a charge for the incidentals. And give her the card. The charge goes off. And then she's like, all right. By the way, you get a $10 credit at the coffee shop in the hotel every single morning. And so I'm like, that's exciting. Don't drink coffee, but I'll figure something out maybe. And then I guess it's part of her job, so maybe she wasn't excited, but she sounded excited to tell me all about the amenities that they have at the hotel. But I wasn't very receptive to it because I wasn't spending much time in the hotel. So she was like, will you be using the gym during your stay? I was like, no, probably not. And she goes, okay, will you need to use parking? Will you be driving? I was like, no, not really. Okay, would you be using the spa during your stay? I was like, no, probably not.
Go to the spa.
And so she's just going down the list of all these things. And I'm like, nope, sorry. I'm pretty,
when you were waiting,
I'm just
you could have
sleeping.
went to the spa, man.
I maybe could have. I don't know if it was complimentary or if they charged or not. But maybe if I stay there next time, I'll get a facial or something. So yeah, then I check in. I get given my card, and she's like, "All right, you gotta like walk down that way, take a right. The elevators are there. You're in this tower, which sounds fancy, but they just named the wing of the hotel a tower. And yeah, there's your room. I'm like, okay. So then I follow those directions, go up, get to the room, scan in, walk in. I'm like, damn, this is nice. The bathroom was a really nice bathroom. Natalie rated my hotel room. She said it was very nice, especially for the price. Big shower, which is good because I'm really tall, and so I was worried that it'd be a small shower and I'd just have to like stand there and like rotate, I guess.
Sulk.
With no area to move, but no, there's plenty of room. 2 beds because the cheapest room had 2 queen beds, so I didn't really jump between the beds or anything, but if I wanted to, I could have. And then I was like, all right, yeah, this looks good. Natalie will be here soon, so I am gonna head down and wait for Natalie. So then I go get in the elevator, and without looking, I hit number 1 because floor number 1 is usually the first floor and the floor that you walk in on.
There was no G for ground level?
Nope, no G. Just like 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. What I did not see until later was that floor number 2 had a thing on the right of it that said lobby. Didn't see that. Just hit number 1.
Kind of important to know, just say.
Halfway down, some couple got in the elevator with me, looked, saw that number 1 was hit, was like, yep, that's where we're supposed to go. And we reach the bottom, and I walk out, and they walk out, and then they audibly behind me go, nope, this isn't it, and go back into the elevator. But I kind of thought it would be too awkward if I also got back in the elevator. So then...
This reminds me of the time... Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
This reminds me of the time... I don't know if I told the story on the podcast, but my school has a parking garage, right?
Okay.
And I parked at 8 a.m. And I finished school at 9 p.m. Okay. I couldn't remember what level I parked on. So I went to the level I thought I was on. Didn't see my car. Went to a staircase. The door was locked. So, I went up a floor, and the door was locked. So then I went back down, and luckily, I wasn't stuck. So I got out, and then I went back to the elevator, and I went down a floor. I ran into my professor, and I then walked through the door, and I was like, la 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 la, oh my god, there's my car. And I was like, bye, sir. And then I walked to the car. It's not my car, and I had to go and walk by my professor's car to get to the car. It was a whole thing, but that was it reminded me of that. Continue.
So I didn't want to get back into the elevator and then have the couple be like, wow, this guy has no idea where he's going. So I just confidently kept walking away, thinking that maybe I just didn't remember the layout of the first floor. No, I was in the fucking back rooms. Everything was just like ballrooms and meeting rooms, and just all of the doors were closed. There was a billion doors.
You were going to TanaCon.
There was,
right?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to TanaCon. Got my TanaCon condoms. And
crazy. That's the thing you remember the most from that. Was that even a thing?
Yeah, everyone got heat stroke,
okay.
and they got condoms. And it was notable because most of the people who went were like 17-year-olds, and so it was drama.
How does she still have a platform? Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So, going to TanaCon. Walking around, there was like a fountain randomly. I'm like, I have no fucking clue where I am. Then I found doors, so I was like, all right, I'll just walk out of these doors and figure it out from there. Turns out, lobby on the second floor, not the first floor. Doors I went out on were way on the side of the building, and I had to walk all the way back around to the front of the building in order to figure out where the fuck.
That reminds me of also when I went to pick you up, because my directions for some reason brought me to the back rooms. I was like driving, I went into the plaza, and I passed trash, and I was like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be back here. Like, if I kept going, I would have gone down like a tunnel into I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm backing out.
Then I'm waiting for Natalie, and I would assume I was like trying to figure out how long she would take to be there, so I knew when to like look out for her, right? And so I'm like sitting there on my phone. She's not replying. She's driving, whatever. Waiting. Then I get a photo of a map that says 15 minutes away and the word here. So I assume she's saying like, here, take this. Like, here's the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. A few seconds later, while I'm on my phone, I hear, John! And she's driving through the parking lot looking for me. And
she's just yelling this as she drives through stuff?
We found... No, I think she saw me and rolled down her window.
Okay.
But we found out that for some reason, when she leaves her house, which just happened like another time on the trip, and she sends messages on Discord, they like won't send until she reopens Discord. So I just didn't get the picture of the 15 minutes map until she was already at the hotel, rather than when she was trying to send it. So she picks me up. We pick up her friend. Then we all meet at your house. You reveal that you made cookies. I get really excited. I walk over, see the cookies. I get less excited because they don't look like something that I'd like. Or at least nothing that I'd have before. You didn't offer me a cookie either.
Okay, the reason why I didn't offer anyone a cookie is because when I went to... So, I made, like, 8 cookies, right?
Okay.
And I was supposed to make 12 cookies. But the cookies expanded a lot more than I expected the cookies to expand. And I went downstairs to get changed because I was making cookies the whole time. And I come upstairs and my mom gave the biggest cookie away to my uncle because my uncle came over. So I was like, oh, now there's only 4 cookies. And then I was like, we're going to go get food. No one wants a cookie right now. And I haven't even tasted. To this day, I still have not tried a cookie.
Oh.
Fully. I've had crumbles of the cookie, but I've not eaten a full cookie. But when I came home also, my dad ate 3 cookies, and I think my mom had 1. So
are there still cookies left?
Yes.
Okay.
I just haven't eaten it.
Maybe you'll be able to try one.
So I just didn't want, because also another thing is while making the cookies, I messed up the recipe. So I didn't know if the cookies tasted good. And you have never tried any of my baking. So I was like, I don't want to give you a cookie unless I know it's good. So then I was like, I'm not going to offer a cookie. But I offered one later, okay? Don't twist this on me.
We'll get to that because I might be misremembering, but we'll get to that. Anyways, yeah. I'll meet up.
No, we're bringing this up right now. I gave you guys a container. I said this is a cookie you all can share.
Oh, did you say that?
Yes.
Okay, because
I just handed it to Natalie because or Kareem, I forget who I handed it to.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I forgot that then, and I thought you just gave them a cookie. I don't know.
No. That was a share because the cookies are huge. You know how big the cookie
were? It was a big cookie.
And again, I didn't know if they were good, so I was like, I don't know if you want.
Someone does hate your baking though. Big drama.
Natalie.
She didn't try it. That was the big drama. Karina had half of it, and then she gave me the other half. And
Natalie has been a day one hater. I tried to make her dinner one time, me and Nick made this really nice chicken. It was a honey garlic chicken, I think we made, and I'm making it. I started it while they were still playing chess. I was being nice, and next thing I know, she's taken over. She backseated my cooking. Sure didn't turn out better than the first time, but she hates me.
Yeah, so then I'll meet up. I'll hop in the Schwip, and we go to a pizza place that I really, really wanted to try and I've known about for a long time, and it's only in Canada. And I was actually the reason that you, Jade, Umer, and Natalie tried it one time because I mentioned it, and then Jade realized there was one that's not super, super far. It's kind of far, but not super far where it's absurd. And then that spiraled into all of you going and trying it, and I couldn't try it because I don't live in the country. So this has been years in the making. I was very excited to try this pizza.
Yes, in the car, I was in charge of ordering the pizza. And, pizzas, they're $20 more normally. Mm-hmm. But this pizza was not $20. It was $40. No.
It's quite expensive.
It was a quite expensive pizza I was not prepared for, but there was 5 of us, so we split it.
Important to note, we would get slices, but for some reason, this place doesn't sell slices after evening. 4 p.m.
I don't know why.
No clue why. And I landed at 3:30 p.m., so there was no way that we were ever going to be able to get slices.
We could barely get a pizza. I mean, that was crushing time.
It was close.
But, yeah, I ordered the pizza. We had to wait 5 minutes. And I get the pizza. We're all excited. We're like, woo, pizza. And we go to the car. Good in there. Smells super good. And before, I ordered a pepperoni pizza, right? And you do pay a little bit more for the pepperoni.
Of course.
We opened this box. And that was not pepperoni. And I was like, I swear I clicked pepperoni. So I'm trying to look at my account.
And it wasn't like a weird pizza or anything. It was just cheese pizza.
It was just cheese, but I was like, if I paid more for it, I want my pepperoni.
Yeah.
And everyone preferred pepperoni. So I was like, God damn it, I gotta go be a Karen. So we all go back into the store, and I'm like, I'm so sorry to do this. I don't think I was given the right pizza. And then the guy was like, oh. And he looked, and he's like, oh yeah, this is your pizza. You can keep the other one, though. So then we got 2 pizzas. So
then we calmly left the building, and then once we walked out,
No. Natalie was excited.
We left the building. I waited until I got out, and then immediately I started running over to Jade in the car, and I like did a jump air kick, clicked my heels together.
Which is so funny because the guy could definitely see you do that.
100%.
Because there was gigantic windows in the
100%, but I thought it was really funny.
Because we left the original pizza that we were given on a table. And I just remember him being like, oh yeah, you can take the other one. And I just remember seeing Natalie grabbing it and running.
Because as we were like walking in, we were like, oh, like imagine if he lets us keep it, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then he did. And we got a large pizza, which is like 8 slices, I think. And the cheese one was also a large. So then we went in expecting 8 slices. We get like 16 slices. Very exciting.
Yes.
We ate on the hood of James' car real quick because we were going to eat in the car. Give us a 1
out of 10.
We were going to eat in the car, but Jade had to drive, obviously. I would rate the pizza. Now, my initial rating in a food review channel in our private Discord was 10 out of 10. And thinking about it, it stays at a 10 out of 10. I said it might be the best pizza I've ever had. I think it is the best pizza I've ever had, which some people... if you don't know my pizza rating skills, I go to New York City a lot, okay? So I know pizza. And this just like fit my personal like best pizza in every way possible. One, there's a shit ton of pepperoni on the pepperoni slices. They don't skimp out on the pepperoni.
They're baby pepperonis too.
And yeah, it's the little cupped ones, right? So that's how you know it's good. The cheese to sauce ratio, delicious. All of the ingredients tasted phenomenal. The crust held up well. It was like on the edges, it was like perfectly crispy, and there's like slight like black marks on it to where it's like charred almost, right? Delicious. And it was the crust is like super fluffy and airy. One thing that I hate about some crusts is if it gets like too dense and like bready, you know what I mean? Which I like bread, but I don't know, when crust gets too bready, it's like but they're super fluffy, super airy. Absolutely delicious. Loved the pizza. Remember this pizza for later. We put the leftovers all in one box, put it back in the car, and we hop into Schwip to go to, can I say where but not where we went to, or no?
Define where. Text it. Message it.
Can I say that or no?
Yeah.
I'll say no. Okay, we went to a thing that
we wanted
to do.
Like, how can I explain this? We went to a horror house.
Yes.
Where you get
We went
spooked.
to a horror house.
Yeah, there were so many horrors. It was great. They were flocking to us.
Yep.
Yeah, we went to like a scare house.
We went to a scary place, and right when we walk in, Natalie is in front of me, and I go, boo, and touch her shoulders, expecting her to maybe jump a little bit. What I didn't expect was for her to full volume scream because I scared her so bad and turn around. Yeah, I didn't tell you this?
No.
Yeah, she full volume screams and turns around, and then the couple in front of her like turns around like, what the fuck are you guys doing back there? And I scared the shit out of her.
That's really funny because we also went with my best friend from high school, and she did not flinch once. She was like so like stone faced the entire time, and she wasn't like trying to be like tough, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also she had to do a meeting in the middle of it, so she's just walking on her phone.
That's the funniest part.
And I have to like, I'm holding onto her wrist so she doesn't get lost, because even if she's not on her phone, she'll somehow get lost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she did not get scared at all. I was like, damn. Okay. Because I also got told from my sister that apparently in horror houses, I check corners as if I'm playing Valorant.
You like quick peek them?
I do quick peek I do quick peek each corner very quickly when I turn a corner, just because like I want to know if someone's there, and if they are, they'd be really good at scaring me. But no one ever does scare me when they're like that.
Yeah, I jumped a few times, but in one of the scary houses. It was because we initially made Natalie go first because she gets scared the most, so it's the funniest. But then finally we'd like cycle out who went in front. And finally everyone was like, all right, John, it's your turn to go in front. So I'm like, okay, kind of scared. When I was a little kid, I got like petrified in haunted houses, and it was a very scary experience. So I was like, maybe I'm going to have like PTSD flashbacks and get really scared or something. I learned that most scare actors, when they see like a 6'3", 6'4" ish, um, man walking through, they just, I don't know if I scare them or they just assume I can't get scared, but not a single person even jumped out to scare me. And it was to the point where there would be like a couple in front of me and they'd walk by and a guy would like jump at them or something, right? And then he'd reset and then I'd walk by and then the guy would want to scare again. But instead of scaring me, he would walk from his spot past me and then scare the couple from behind. They would not scare. And then I figured the first house, if I turned a corner or something and someone was there, I'd like look to the side and I'd look at them, right? And we'd lock eyes for a sec. So I'm like, okay, maybe they're just like, oh, this guy sees me. I'm not going to scare him. So in the second one, I just stared straight ahead to bait them into scaring me. And they still didn't. No one jumped out at me a single time in 2 houses. I actually feel scammed. I didn't want to be scared when I went to the front, and then I was like, now I want someone to scare me. What the fuck is this? I'm just walking. I'm just walking
it was a
through
good, scary place.
I'm just walking through a haunted house right now, and no one will fucking jump at me. What is that? I got scared more when Natalie was in front of me than when I'm in the front.
Like I said, we never said it was a scary place. We just said it was a place that scares.
Overall, very fun experience. And yeah, I enjoyed it. What about you? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it. I got a few jumps.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
Then after that, we all hopped back into Schwip, and we went back to Mackenzie's house to hang out for a little bit. Jade went to sleep, and remember when I said remember the pizza? The pizza comes into play here. All right. Now, we are watching TV. Mackenzie has given me the remote. I don't know what the fuck to watch. I ended up just putting on a random episode of Family Guy, and it ended up being a very confusing episode of Family Guy.
Yeah, so now I have Family Guy on my Disney Plus, and I don't watch Family Guy.
So Mackenzie handed me the remote because she is going to heat up the pizza and reheat it, right?
I heated up the pizza in my air fryer oven, and I put it on the toast setting for 400 for 5 minutes.
Now, you come back
Fahrenheit.
Down.
Yes.
You come back down with 4 slices of pizza, and there are 4 of us in the basement. So, we all get a slice of pizza. Very good, very nice, equal. Up, ding. The rest of the slices are ready. Mackenzie goes back upstairs.
This wasn't a big oven. I had to split it up.
Mackenzie goes back upstairs, and she comes down to the 4 of us with 3 slices of pizza. And now begins the great pizza standoff, because I'm hungry for more, and I assume everyone's hungry for more. I'm the first one to say, I'm like, yo, I'm willing to have another slice, but if like everyone's really hungry, then it's okay if I can't get one. And then everyone goes quiet again, and no one is saying anything. And Mackenzie, my savior, God, I love my friends, she goes, well, John can't really have this like ever again. He doesn't really live here.
Oh,
so,
I never said. That's not what I meant.
So he gets another slice. Yeah, that's what
but
he
we'll
said.
go with that. No, I meant like you have no access to any other food in your hotel.
No. That's what you said. My bad. I have no access to food in my hotel. But also I was thinking like I don't have access to this anyways. But yeah, you said I don't have access to food because there's not like a microwave and stuff in my hotel. So you said I get it. That's right. My bad. I mixed up my thoughts with what you said.
But I like yours. You go with that one. That one's better.
I mean, regardless, I appreciate you looking out for me and being like, he doesn't have access to food. He gets another slice. So then, boom, I'm bailed out of the situation. I don't even have to say anything. I grab a slice. Now, there's like a big slice of pizza left, and there's like a smaller, like kind of like medium-sized slice of pizza left, right? And the people who are left are Mackenzie,
Hello.
Natalie, and then a mutual friend of all of ours, but who is mainly a Natalie friend, right? And so my assumption, as the one with the pizza out of this situation, no longer commenting on the situation, is that Natalie and her friend, who are the closest in this situation, will split a slice of pizza, and Mckenzie will then get a slice of pizza to herself, right? However, very, very close after me thinking that, Natalie decides, I'm going to grab another slice of pizza. And she grabs a slice for herself and leaves Mckenzie and her friend, like Natalie's friend, to figure out what to do with that last slice of pizza. And thankfully,
I punched her in the face.
Thankfully, you guys are nice people, so you guys naturally took a gun, walked 10 paces, and fought to the death, and whoever won got the pizza.
And let me tell you, it was some good pizza. No, we got a knife and we stabbed each other. No, we got a knife and we cut the pizza equally in half.
Yeah. Then you guys split the pizza.
As you would do. However, I do believe Natalie did take the bigger slice.
I think so, maybe.
Yes.
But, yeah, then we had the pizza.
That concluded day one.
Yeah,
well,
I went
is there
back.
more?
No.
Oh, the cookie.
That was it. Everyone was, oh, true. You split the cookie.
Yes.
Or you gave the cookie. Natalie's friend ate half of it and then said we could have the rest. Natalie said she did not want any of it.
So the cookie is a snickerdoodle apple pie cookie.
Mm-hmm. And I did say
see it in my vlog if I ever decide to edit it.
I said I don't really like apple pie. Now that wasn't necessarily true. I've never had apple pie, and I do love apples, but something about like the apples in the filling of an apple pie
it's
and on this
soft.
Yeah, I don't. I just like assumed I wouldn't like it, right? Then I get given this cookie, and when Natalie's friend was eating it, she like broke off a piece on the end without any apple on it and gave it to me because I'd never even had a snickerdoodle cookie. And the second I took a bite,
buttery.
I thought it was absolutely delicious.
Ah, perfect.
I thought it was fantastic, and I text Mckenzie saying that the cookie is fantastic, and she did not believe me.
I think it's because I don't like the cookie.
Oh, really?
I feel like the snickerdoodle is so butter. All I taste is butter. And, like, to be fair, technically speaking, I should have left the butter out for it to be room temperature, but I was in a rush, so I was like, it's good enough. So then I had, like, some butter chunks in it, so then I had to, like, really mix it well, and I feel like I just ate a chunk. But that's besides the point.
Yeah, I messaged you. It was midnight. I said, I tried a piece of the cookie. It's very good. You said, sure it was. Eye roll emoji. And I said, I swear to God, they're giving me the cookie. Karina ate half of it, and I'm eating the rest. And you said, fake bitches everywhere, so they don't like it. And I said, Nat didn't try it, but I like it. And then you immediately called me out somehow and said, counting the apple with the raised eyebrow emoji. And I was like, I mean, I haven't really had the apple piece yet. But I like the cookie. But then later...
go ahead.
I was just going to say later on, I tried it with the apple. The apple was a bit like weird at first because, yeah, it is soft. But overall, I liked the entire combination, and I liked the cookie, and I would eat more.
I think my favorite cookie that I've made is a cookie I made with Nick, which is literally oatmeal raisin cookies, and they're so good, and they're also healthy. And they're so good. They're like soft, but they're also I burnt one, so it was crunchy that one time. But they're like my favorite cookies. I love those cookies. But I wanted to make a new recipe. I followed a TikTok recipe for it. I'm surprised it worked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So that TikTok got so many views from me. I was watching it like constantly for 3 hours.
It's on loop.
Yeah.
Second
now
to day one.
Day 2.
Day 2 got a little mixy at first because wasn't sure, what was going to be going on. But Mckenzie
beforehand, a week in advance, I messaged John, yo, there's an open shift. I kind of need the money. Can I take this? Will you be okay? And will you have something to do? And I was told, yes, you'll be okay and that you would have something to do.
The plan for this day was before Mckenzie goes to work, we were going to go to the movies and see a movie all together. And then me, Natalie, and Mckenzie, that is. And then after the movie, Mckenzie would go to work, and I would hang out with Natalie. Now, as it got closer to the date, and after Mckenzie took that shift, I was like, it's okay. I'm not gonna be upset. It's fine. I'll have stuff to do. Everything will be all good. Natalie found out that her dad was coming home from a business trip that day, and that she would have to pick him up from the airport and have lunch with him. And after it got closer to that day, and we could book the tickets for the movies.
No tickets show at 10 a.m. Crazy.
Yeah, no tickets in the morning, which is actually kind of crazy because
actually, really,
theaters near me do showings in the morning, and they're like cheaper.
Really?
Yeah, so you get like cheaper tickets for
the
seeing
place
it
doesn't open till 12 for us, and then early to them is like 12 to 3 when people are still in school.
So yeah, I was assuming that it would work. Turns out, did not work. We could not see the movie.
It's fine. They're all bad.
So Mckenzie ended up getting to Schwip in the morning and coming and picking me up, and we went to a mall together.
True.
While at
all Chinese food. Now Uber rating.
Uber rating. I would rate the Uber ride. I would rate the Uber ride a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. I think it was a smooth ride. Nothing really went wrong. I think your driving comments / road rage was kind of calm and funny. I didn't
I've been
feel
told that I'm very funny when I'm driving because I just yell.
Yeah, I didn't feel like you were. I didn't feel like my life was in danger.
That's
with
good.
your road rage. I thought it was funny.
I don't get road rage. I just
call
driving.
I just call like any road discussion, I guess, a form of road rage. But yeah, solid driving. Good job. Keep it up.
Now, can I bring up a topic that I had?
Sure.
So, I was listening to Fear Ad on the way to school, and they were talking about how Cutie wanted to play Phoebe Bridgers, and Ludwig was listening to YouTube shorts on the aux. Mm-hmm. So my question was, whose music are you playing when you're in a car? Because I think the passenger has the right to play whatever song they want when I am driving, because I'm too distracted with driving to actually do anything. However, I'm too lazy sometimes to give it to people, and I just keep my music on.
Yeah, you didn't really give me a choice of music, but I like your music.
I also was in a rush because I had I was like, I gotta get home for my mom's appointment.
But in my opinion, I think that the passenger should choose the music, but it should be something that like everyone in the car is willing to listen to, or like you and a driver are willing to listen to. You know what I mean? Now, does Natalie feel the same way about this? No, maybe she doesn't. Maybe I got in her car one day and I had to plug my phone in instead of her phone, so it went on the Apple CarPlay, and I said, "What do you want to listen to?" And she said, "Not this shit." Then took over my Apple Music on her car screen and scrolled until she found something she wanted to listen to. Maybe that's how she feels about it. I'm fine with the music.
My friend from high school, whenever she drives, she plays her music. Mm-hmm. And we don't have similar music. Like, we have some similar things, but not a lot. Mm-hmm. And I went out with her and for like an hour once recently, and I just skipped Taylor songs, and I was like, no, we're not listening to this.
You were drawing a line at the Taylor song.
Yeah.
She's a lot of the rest.
But yeah, let us know in the Discord whose music is playing on the aux. Is it the passengers or is it the drivers?
I think passenger.
I also think passenger. However, I know I didn't let you pick music. My apologies.
I'm fine with it now. The thing is, I would say all of the music you listen to. I don't think I hate any of it.
Just like, because like the passenger, they're not doing anything. They're just kind of sitting there. While the driver, they gotta pay attention.
That's one thing. That's one thing that I not struggled with. But like I'd sit there and then I don't know, I'd just be sitting there doing nothing. So then I'd scroll on my phone, but then I didn't want to be like a rude
It's like
guest.
rude.
Like, I want to,
like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude, and I want to like talk to my friend and make sure I'm not like on my phone, and then you think like, oh, he doesn't want to talk or anything. So it's just like this weird mix of awkwardly sitting there doing nothing. And
I think that's why when I'm driving, I say my thoughts out loud, because I'm like,
it can just create conversation.
Yes, exactly. Anywho, I pick you up and we go to a mall.
Yep, we go to a mall. I get some. Can I say the place that I got? Okay, I got Harvey's, not a local joint, which was very delicious. I got a buffalo chicken sandwich. Now, one funny thing about getting Harvey's, which I've had Harvey's in the past, is that one of the main things about Harvey's is that they're kind of like Subway, and that
you
whatever
customize.
like burgers and stuff you get, yeah, you customize. But I don't like any of the toppings or anything, so I just got a buffalo chicken sandwich and just got it plain. And then I got a combo, and he asked me if I wanted to upgrade my fries to poutine, and I was like, when in Rome, why not? So I got some poutine, and it was very, very delicious. Very scrumptious. I loved it. My food rating in the Discord was a 10 out of 10. I think I rated it like a 9 out of 10 at first because I didn't want to just seem like a little bitch giving everything a 10 out of 10.
And then I interrogated him.
Yeah,
like, why is it not a 9 out of 10?
You did interrogate me, and I was like, they can't really do anything better. This is fire. The chicken was very crispy while staying saucy, which a lot of companies do wrong. The sauce had a lot of flavor. It wasn't just like a generic buffalo sauce. And it had the right level of spice where I wasn't like dying, but it added to the experience. And the poutine was delicious.
And I discovered that Tim Hortons has mango frozen lemonade. And if you don't know, I love frozen lemonade and I love mango. So I was like, this sounds great. It was great for the first 5 minutes. Then it sucked. Then it was okay again. Then I had a tummy ache. And I threw it out.
Now, keep in mind, she starts drinking it. She says it's good. She keeps drinking it. She says it's bad. She keeps drinking it. She says it's good. Her mom asked her how it was. I think she said it was good. And then someone else asked her how it was later, and she said it was bad. So what is your current review of the mango frozen lemonade?
I think a small would be good, but a medium's too much.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Which you did keep saying, which like, I don't know what else it could have been or what you expected, but you did keep saying like, it's just syrup, which like, yeah.
Yeah. See, I worked at Tim Hortons, so like I know how it works. But I also just watched her pump syrup into it and then put frozen lemonade and then mix it all. And it was very artificial. I know, crazy. Who would have thought syrup is artificial?
I tried it. I thought it was all right. It's kind of the same thing where like I think I'd drink a small of it, but I don't think I'd drink like a big drink of it. Mm-hmm. And I've had the frozen lemonade in the past, and I loved the frozen lemonade. So that's my review of that. Then we needed to leave the mall because Mackenzie's mom had an appointment and needed a car. So
that wasn't the reason. You're getting it all wrong. Do you remember being here?
Oh, no, my bad. You're right. You had work. She went to the appointment. Yeah, no. You picked me up. We went to your house first, got your mom. Your mom dropped us off, went to the appointment. We went around the mall. I got a notebook and 2 pens, which I have started journaling.
Wow.
And I have journaled more than just that first entry that I showed you, which I was writing like an AI just to test out the pens. Sure.
To the people.
You could read it to the masses. It was funny.
As image. Hold.
If you look up,
count as images.
If you look up AI, you might be able to find it. Oh, no, never mind.
Hold. Tweets count as images. Hold. We send a lot of tweets, I'm learning.
Oh, here we go. I found it.
On the 17th, were you here? No.
No, it's the 18th. I just replied to it if you jump to present.
All right. John wrote, October 18th. I got these 2 cool pens and a notebook at beep. Now, I'm writing this all to test them Why am I talking like an AI? Harvey's is gas, by the way. Thank you. Reenactment.
I wanted to start like I guess journaling for a while now, or just like writing down my thoughts sometimes. But just never did it, and now I have a notebook and pen, so I'm doing it, and I only have like 3 entries so far, whatever. I'm not doing it where I'm like making myself do it every day. It's just sort of when I feel like it. But yeah, it's nice. It's a nice way to, because sometimes you just like you got thoughts you want to get out, but you don't want to like talk them out. You just want to like, I don't know. It's nice to just like put it into the void and then close the notebook and it's just there.
Yeah, I haven't journaled in a minute. Maybe I'll do it one day again. I'm just too lazy. I don't have time.
That's fair.
And also,
we'll see if
writing with a pen hurts.
We'll see if I end up keeping up with
it.
it. I like these
in a
pens.
while.
And so yeah, then
You also got shirts.
True, I did get 2 shirts at a very local spot that I can't share. No, I'm joking. I got them at Uniqlo, and I don't think the experience at Uniqlo is that like a normal thing that's everywhere? The checkout. Can I talk about that?
I don't go to Uniqlo often, so I don't know.
Or should I just not in case?
Fuck it. Go ahead.
So I'm in Uniqlo. I get an Aerism oversized tee because I like them and everyone always rates them highly. And I had them in the past, but it was before. It was like when I just started kind of caring about clothes, but not fully. So I didn't pay attention to how I wash my clothes or dry them at all. And I would just throw them all in the dryer, blah, blah, blah. So they shrunk and got like ruined. So this one I want to take care of. This is in Canadian, but regardless, they're expensive. That plain white t-shirt was like $30. I turned around. There was a sale rack. I got a Tekken 2 t-shirt for like $7. That was exciting. And we go to checkout, and there's a regular checkout you can go to, or there's a self-checkout. And now I have used self-checkouts before. You walk up, you scan the thing, and you put it down. So I walk up, I go to scan the thing, and Mckenzie says, no, you just put it in the bin. And I go, what?
Yeah.
And there's a bin on the right. And so I throw the t-shirt in the bin, and somehow the system knows exactly what t-shirt I put in there and brings up the price. And I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Maybe it's like based on the weight or something. It can like analyze the t-shirt. It knows. Then I put in the t-shirt that was on the sale rack, but it knows that it's on sale. So how does it work? If anyone works at Uniqlo or like designed
I've
it
seen
or
it
something,
at other places as well.
If anyone knows how those work, please let me know. Because there's like the Amazon Go stores. I don't know if they're still a thing.
Yes.
But it's like where you pick stuff up and it knows what you picked up. But that uses like a lot of cameras and also tons of employees overseas that they didn't talk about for a while. So people thought it was AI, but actually it's just people watching footage to figure out what you grabbed and make sure they charge you for it. This is like different than that. So I'm curious how that works. But yeah, I got 2 t-shirts, got the food, got the notebook and pens, and I
threw them to the curb. Oh.
I also turned my cash into Canadian cash, which took fucking forever. There was a line of old people. Why were there so many old people turning money? There was people counting coins like one by one. Oh my fucking god. And then yes, Mckenzie had work, so she threw me to the curb.
Yes,
then
sir.
Natalie was ready and could hang out. However, actually, she would be fine with me sharing this, right?
I don't know what it is.
I'm typing.
Yeah,
That's fine. Yeah.
I mentioned it.
She found out the day before that she was starting her period. So this day it was in full swing and she was having really bad cramps. It was just like, give me a moment. I am now free from my dad, whatever. Just give me a bit. So then I waited in the hotel room for a bit. I got my free Starbucks. I got a mocha cookie crumble frap. and then I just chilled in my room, and I put on some. I think I put on The Simpsons. Um, and yeah, I just waited, and then she was ready. She picked me up. We went back to her house. I I sat in the basement. And we were going to watch Glee because we've been watching Glee together. But she had to go do something, and she had to go to the bathroom as well. So, like I was a little child, she put on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which I'd never seen before, and she left the room. Um, Now she took a really long time going to the bathroom and doing her thing, so I watched a lot of the beginning of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. But nothing to the point where where they're like Mario and Luigi. They're just, I mean, they are, but they're just like my only frame of
watch a lot then.
my only frame of reference for the movie. Well, a lot of the start of the movie, not a lot, but a long sequence of the start of the movie is just the trailer where like Bowser goes to the penguin people and like takes their star.
Yeah.
And then they're plumbers. So I saw
Yeah.
them be plumbers, and then they were in someone's house to be plumbers, but they broke a dog's bone, so then they had beef with the dog. And that's the last thing that I remember really.
That's like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then she showed up and she reheated some ribs that she had made the day prior. Now this is very funny.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So, if you guys listened to the last episode, you're a real one. But we talked about inviting ourselves to our thing, right? I learned that I need reassurance that I'm invited to something. Because Natalie invited me to go have ribs, right? And I was like, oh, I'm working that day. I'll be done at 9:30, but I'll probably be done earlier. So I basically was out at like, wait, was I working? No, I had rehearsals. So I was like, max time I'll be out is like 8:30. So I text her and I was like, scrolling. At 6:59.
Was that rehearsals for your group thing? Or?
Yes.
Oh, got you. Suddenly I was like, do you do something were you in like a play you didn't share about? Never mind. Okay.
So at 6:59, I'm in class and I just go, how are the ribs? And I don't hear anything. Right? And then I get out of class, so I poke her. And what I mean by that is I send the video of the girl from Finding Nemo when they poke the like Nemo in the tank.
Yeah, the tank. Yes. Yeah.
And then she replies, this is 8:38 p.m. She says, they are great. I want to give some to your mom. So I was like, oh, so my mom's invited. I'm not. So I say, do you want me to stop and pick it up? And she said, nah, I'll drop it off tomorrow. And I still have no. It's been was on the 15th.
So again, I wanna like put some emphasis on this. Mckenzie is essentially not necessarily inviting herself here, which she's already been initially invited, but she's sort of like nudging, like, can I still come, by saying like, oh, do you want me to come by and like I can get the ribs? And Natalie says, nah, I'll just drop them off tomorrow. Like, nah, don't come.
She did after, for Natalie's thing, she did say, unless you want to drop by and say hi to peeps. Mm-hmm. But I fell asleep in the car. And I was like, I got, you know when you get the initial no?
Yeah.
And you get like like if you want. So I was like, you know what? It's okay. But to this day, I'm still waiting on those ribs from my mother.
Yeah. So she didn't end up going to the rib night. And so Natalie was going to give ribs to her mom, and then Mckenzie and her mom would be able to try the ribs. When we saw Mackenzie's mom the day prior, Natalie was like, oh, I forgot to bring my ribs. I really wanted you to have ribs.
To my mother.
And her mom was like, yeah, not to Mackenzie, to her mom.
Not to me.
And so...
And I love ribs. Ribs was my favorite meal as a kid.
And so...
Ribs and not oysters. Mussels. I loved as a kid.
And so Yeah,
I'm just
Mckenzie
trying to
didn't
make
get any
Natalie feel
ribs.
worse.
Mackenzie's mom didn't get any
I
ribs.
haven't had
Now,
ribs in so long.
I am
They're my
in
one thing I've been looking for years.
I am in Natalie's house, and she said that she wanted me to try her ribs, like before she even had the rib night, right? Because I said I'm not a huge rib person, which I'm not. In my opinion, ribs are very barbecue sauce based, and I'm very picky with like barbecue sauce that I like and stuff like that. So I just said like I don't really like ribs, but she was like, no, you have to like try my ribs. So then she brings down some of her ribs, and I try them.
Oh, you know what's even more funny?
What?
Natalie has been hyping up her ribs to me since when Nick was here in August. Because she was like,
really?
I just had made ribs the other day. I should have invited you guys over. Maybe I can make ribs of the, again during August. But my mom's getting sick of my ribs.
So they've been getting hyped up for months.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm over to Natalie's, and she makes some ribs, and I have them, and they're delicious. They're scrumdiddlyumptious. They're fantastic. I love these ribs. And so I'm still kind of hungry for more, and she's still kind of hungry for more. So I'm like, you know what? Just bring me like one more rib, or maybe like two, right? And then I'm good to go. And she walks away, and then she ends up coming back, and she was like, I know you said just bring you like a rib or whatever. But we were basically almost out, so I just made the rest of the ribs. So Mackenzie's mom and Mckenzie did not get any ribs and still do not know what they taste like, because Natalie and I may or may not have eaten the rest of the leftover ribs, which were delicious, by the way, not to rub it in your face, but they were fantastic.
Now, you rated this an 8 out of 10, and you said at their peak, they were an 8 out of 10. But some weren't, because they were reheated and dry. But overall, insanely good, and I'm really picky with ribs.
Yeah, so I'd say that's a pretty good review from me for ribs. And then we watched a Glee episode, and then while we were watching this episode, now Mckenzie is at work, and we have an escape room later that night, and Mackenzie's going to be at work until we have to go to the escape room, so she cannot go to dinner or anything.
But I got a Chipotle burrito. I
and
love
so,
Chipotle.
And so I was like, okay, I'll go to dinner with Nat, and we can invite Jade and Umer. And
That
Jade
is her
says
boyfriend, in case you are not aware.
Jade says she's down, and Umer is also down. Umer will be in the area around 7, I believe, was said. Okay.
And the escape room is at 10:30.
Yeah. So then 7, was it 7? I think it was 7. Yeah, 7.
I don't know, it wasn't there.
So then 7 comes around, or it's like getting close to 7. And then Jade is like, all right, so Umer's like not gonna make it for 7. But he'll make it for 8. Like, it'll be fine, right? So then I'm like, all right, we were gonna go to a mall for dinner because that was the idea that Nat had. The mall closes at 8. So if Umer gets there at 8, it's not gonna work. So then I message her, and I'm like, yo, Jade, do you have any ideas where we could go to dinner or anything? Because like the mall closes at 8. Jade says at 7:30 she's gonna hop in the shower, she's gonna brainstorm, figure out like what to do.
She only brainstorms in the shower, apparently.
So I'm like, all right, that works. And Nat and I end up just going to the mall, just like walk around and check things out. I end up getting Jade a Sunny Angel, if you know what those are, little collectible thing, blind box. To thank her.
It's a baby that has a butt and a penis, and they're naked, and they're dressed up in different things.
No, mine's not naked. The one that I got, dinosaurs. They were all dinos.
His was a dinosaur.
She got the Triceratops. But I got her that to thank her for picking me up from the airport, because I really appreciated that. And she was like really exhausted that day at the end of the day, because she worked, then picked me up from the airport, then we went right to food and the Halloween thing.
So it was a little 6 a.m. to a midnight type deal. A casual day for her.
Something light. So then I'm like, all right. Nat had an idea while Jade was in the shower, and I was like, we could go to this place if you want. It's like sit down, not super expensive though. Otherwise, we can do fast food. She says she's down for that once she gets out of the shower. It's like 7:53. But Umer isn't gonna make it for 8. He will make it for 9:15. So then I'm like, damn, all right. So me, Natalie's friend, and Jade all go to this spot for dinner. Jade ends up meeting us there. The food, I actually didn't take a picture of it. I'm kind of sad about that. Or rating it. I got fettuccine Alfredo. It was very good. I was gonna get the buffalo chicken tenders, but with Nat's encouragement, and also I kind of wanted to, I decided to mix it up because one, I eat a lot of buffalo chicken, and two, I'm pretty sure when I went like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever, to this place, I got the buffalo chicken tenders. So I was like, you know what? I should try something else. Got the fettuccine Alfredo. It was good. I'd give it like a 7.8 out of 10. It wasn't like crazy, but I was happy with it. I'd get it again.
I was working.
Yep, you were still working.
I'm working late.
Because she's a singer. Oh, are you not?
No, I'm not a singer. Anywho.
My bad. My condolences. Anywho, we eat and then we go to the escape room. And this escape room was rated 5 out of 5 difficulty. And
so in total,
for our,
there's John, me, Natalie, Natalie's friend, Jade, my sister, Umer, her boyfriend, and my best friend from high school. 7 of us, and a 5 out of 5 difficulty.
Now, we ended up accidentally binking the perfect room, not only for there being 7 people, but also for this story time. Because when we're waiting to go in, the guy is like, okay, we're going to need you guys to split up into 2 groups. One's going to be in the small room, and one's going to be in the big room. And now we end up being me, Natalie, and Natalie's friend in the small room, and everyone else in the big room. So we close our eyes, we get shuffled into the room, and then the guy's like, wait for a sound effect, you'll hear it, then you're good to go. We hear the sound effect, open our eyes, boom. Now, from my perspective, we are in a small room. We're looking around. There's like a board that has holes in it. There's these 3 boxes to our right that have stars on them that are like drop boxes, but you can't open them. We were told the first thing to do was check the mail. So,
oh my God, he told us to check the mail too. That's crazy.
Oh my God, we both got mail? That's so exciting. So we open up the mailbox. We get this little wooden piece. We slide it in. Then a clown starts talking to us. And then when he's done, there's what was the first step?
Do you want me to say my step? Okay.
Get
the TV.
Yeah. So we had a keypad, and I believe the first step was to type in like the word Friday or something. I don't know. The first step's kind of hazy. My bad. But we like typed in a word because we had like calendars and it said like days, and there was like days of the week. And then we had a poster that said like the carnival opening was there was like it was on like this date, and there was like the Christmas special or whatever day that was on like the Monday. So we had to like count back to what day the opening day was, and then we type in Friday. I remember that's what happened. Type in the word Friday, and then box drops to the right. So then box opens to the right. There's a knife in it that's chained to the wall, and it's the perfect distance to this like essentially dartboard where each ring has a certain amount of points. And then lower down on the wall across the room, there was a score sheet for like darts or like throwing knives. And we had to take them after the scores and figure out like where they had to throw the knife to get that amount of points, and then slot the knife in each time. So we do that. I fuck up the first time because each time I put it in, it makes like a knife throwing noise. But like the second to last time I did it, it didn't make a knife throwing noise. So then I put it in that slot a second time, assuming it didn't like read it, but turns out it did. And so then I accidentally doubled it, which fucked it up. So then we do that. And when we do that, I believe, once we do that, it ends up dropping the maybe I'm realizing I don't remember a lot from the beginning of the room.
Damn.
Once I do that, I assume it would drop the second box, but I can't remember what is in the second box if it does.
A second box did something.
Presumably the second box opened something. Damn, what? Let me message Natalie and see live. Or you know what? Let me try calling Natalie.
Add her to the call.
I'm gonna no, not even that. I'm just gonna FaceTime her. I'm gonna FaceTime Natalie, and we're gonna see if she picks up. Let's see if she picks up. One of my best friends, Natalie. I'm just calling her right now on her phone. We're gonna see if she answers. Been friends for years.
It'd be so funny if I try to call her after, but I can't.
Did this escape room? Oh my god, she picked up. Oh my god, are you busy right now? You're alive right now. I know that reminds me.
Oh, I am alive.
Are you busy right now?
That wasn't the question.
Not really.
Okay. Do you remember in our escape room, the first box on the wall opened and there was the dagger and we put that in the wall? What was in the second box? Because I can't remember what happens.
The second box with the axe, and then we had like the different symbols.
Because I remember the symbols on the wall, and then we had to like talk to them to that. Was there something before that after the knife or no?
Fuck, I don't.
No one knows.
Man, I do not remember.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember either. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Maybe Karina will, but we'll see.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Don't remember. Maybe there was nothing. Anyways, eventually we get to this box drops open, and there's a bunch of symbols on the wall, and it says like stage 4 or 5 or some shit like that.
It says what? Sorry, you cut out.
I believe it said like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4,
okay.
stage 5,
yes.
something like
Act
that.
1, Act 2,
and then
and 3.
Act, that's what it was, yeah.
Yes.
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. And there was symbols. And then this device that was on the like counter, table, whatever, activated. And a screen turned on. And we could see your group in your room, and when we talked, you guys reacted, so you guys could hear us, but we could not hear you.
So meanwhile, while they're doing all of that, we have our own puzzles. So we get in, we check the mail, we get the mail thing, and we put it in, and the clown is talking to us, and then he's talking about how he's killed a bunch of children. So on the wall, like written around the wall, is like names of the kids and like what they are. Like it was like Florence is strong, Daniel is love, or something like that, right? And these hands lit up, and the hands have cuts across like their palm lines, right?
Okay.
So, and then we also had like a rip box, and every child had like a little like tomb written name, and then we had inserts, so we had to put them in like above the hands. Does that make sense? Okay. So, on the side of it, on a wall. So a bunch, like these names are all around like the room, right? But on a wall there's a picture frame with different types of planets. And on the planets there's a shape. And under it, the planet like Venus is like strong, dependent, integrity. So we then took the symbols from the planet poster, and then we had another poster that was on where the hands are, like on the side, that was like, what did it say? The symbol had like the line mark of the palm. So, so let's say like Florence is love, right? We then would go to the poster, we would look for the planet that had love underneath it, we would get the symbol, then go to the box where the other poster is, where we would find the symbol that the planet had and the lines, and then we put it where the hand had the line, like above it. And then we would have to order them. And there was like 6 of them. And we did that. And then this thing lit up with frames. It was basically like, so there were like frames on the corner, around 8 of them. And then this thing that lit up was the same shapes and same angles as these frames with symbols inside. And then all of a sudden I hear Natalie's voice, and Natalie is talking to me, and I'm like, what is happening? Terrifying.
Now, from our side, then, we are talking to you guys. You guys can't talk to us. There's a screen where we can see you. And it's within like a generally small-ish, like medium-sized area. Sometimes you guys were like cut off. And so we immediately assume we have to tell them these symbols. So we are saying like we have 5 symbols. It's a this, that. Yeah, it was like, you know, this one looks like a V and an upside down V. This one looks like a no sign. This one's like a pentagon, stuff like that.
It was kind of funny because the first time you guys explained it, you said that it was the Black Widow symbol, which was so funny because me and Lucy instantly got it, and Jade went, "What's a Black Widow symbol?" As in the Marvel one.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's the spider.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure if you guys would get that, so we like simplified it down.
So we figured that out, but we were like, okay, what do we do with this information? Like, we know like we get the symbol that you said. You would be like, Act 1 is Black Widow. Then we would look at the frame, and it was like, okay, it's this one. Then we go to the wall, and it like had things like Jester, Joker, Monkey, popcorn, things like that. And we're like, okay, now what do we do? And I remember hearing the clowns saying like, put on your best performances. So I was like, oh, we acted out to them and they do something. So I start acting like a monkey because that was the first word.
So what we get back is Mckenzie showing the number 8, which means nothing to us, and monkey. And she is acting like a monkey into this camera. So we have a list of 5 acts with these symbols, and we are getting back 8 monkey. So then, like,
I was saying 8 because you guys were giving us 4 things, and I was like, we have 8. Why are you giving 4? So then eventually I just did 1, and I acted like a monkey.
And yeah, we just like could not figure out what the hell they were trying to communicate, what we were trying to communicate. We assumed that they had everything on their side that they had to do. And like, in my mind, we had used everything in the room already, and I didn't think that like we'd be reusing anything, right? I assumed it would be like, you do this, and then, all right, that thing is used up, right? Silly me. We end up radioing for our first hint because we're completely stumped, and we find out that it is a game of charades, and so you are showing us that the first symbol means monkey, and so we're supposed to type monkey into the keypad that we already used for a previous code.
Yes.
So now we're like, okay, that makes sense.
Natalie is insane at charades. We had
Actually
the word monkey.
Insane.
Monkey was like easy. I think we then had popcorn.
Popcorn we got, yeah.
And then we had juggler. But juggler was a hard one because you guys kept saying juggle. And I was like, how do we make it so they know it's a juggler?
The problem was a bunch of us, like, we kept saying stuff kind of all at once as well. And so we'd say, like, juggler, juggling, juggle, all of that. And then you guys would say, like, yes sometimes. And then we wouldn't know which one it was, like, yes to. But, yeah, eventually we get to juggler.
I think I just sounded it out. I was just doing really, like, big, like, motions with, like, trying to, like, say juggler. But the one that was, like, shocking was Natalie instantly got ringmaster.
Yeah.
Which I thought was going to be difficult. Because originally, my sister said to get on our knees. So we all got on the floor. And then Umar was like pointing at his finger. And then I was like, and he was like, and we were like, why are you doing that? And he's like, ring. And then we're like, oh, we'll split up in 2 words. So I just grabbed the ring on my finger and I put it up to the camera. And Natalie got ringmaster. And I was like, sick. We didn't have to do the word master because I don't know what the hell I would do for that. But,
and then also immediately, somehow they got unicycle, which
that
after
one also
monkey,
was shocking.
after monkey, I'm like checked out. I got they're solving it before I can figure out what the fuck is going on.
Which I was kind of sad about because I was pitching the idea of getting on my sister's shoulders to do unicycle, but she didn't.
Damn, that would have been funny.
But they eventually type in all these words, and a door opens for us, and we're in now
and a door opens for us
hallway.
We are in a small, which they made me go first. So for you, like a full size door opens, right? For us, a tiny little like part in the wall opens, and
No,
me.
I think you were still there. I don't think you were there because we had to do the map thing.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
So
Too early.
we're in a hallway, and we have like these stars on the wall. We have this giant map. We have this giant picture frame. We have another door that has symbols on it, and then we have like this little like frame thing, and we also have a mic. So now we can communicate to each other. So I'm like, hey, and I don't know how you got to the conclusion we had to use a map. I don't know.
Very, very quickly, Natalie, like, just off of straight game knowledge, just the goat, I guess, binks the fact that there's a board at the end of their hallway. So for us, the second camera turned on of the hallway, right? There's a board at the end of the hallway that has words written on it. And Natalie, just off, like, straight instinct, goes, you guys can't see any words on that board, can you?
And they're like, what board?
Yeah, nah, there's nothing. So then we're like, oh shit, there's words on the board. Natalie figured that out. However, Natalie and Karina, neither one could read what was on the board, so it was then my job. And so on the board, it said like south, south, east, north, south, etc., blah, 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 all these directions, right? And then they figured out, oh, we have a map. And so the directions led to, it said the word code for us, right?
Yes.
So we would read out the directions, and then I'm like, all right, south. So you guys go south, blah, blah, blah. We figure it all out, and then you guys give us a number and a word. So then...
Yeah, originally we were just giving you the final location, but then we learned that it was a sequence of numbers. So every stop we had to tell you. So
if there was a number at it, you'd say
1, Ferris wheel, 2, circus, 13, theater. For like every stop we did with the directions you gave us.
So then we restart from the start, type it all in, boom, we get it. Little door opens in the wall for us. And at this point, you're still just in the hallway, right?
Yes, we're still in the hallway.
Okay. Now, for some reason, like I was saying before, they make me go first when I'm like double the size of both of them. And it's this tiny little thing on the ground. So I get on my knees and I'm like crawling into this room, and it is pitch black. I hit a wall. I'm like walking all around. Then I realize, okay, I can stand up now. I stand up. We're like looking around. There's these bars on the wall and like something in the middle. And then we can hear them through the wall. And eventually the wall ends up dropping, and we can officially like talk or like pass stuff through the wall.
Yes.
Just like straight up. We don't have to worry about the mics. Then looking around to see if there's anything else going on, and I just start rubbing the wall, and I hit a light switch, and boom, it lights up the room. And then there's a wall of switches.
So really the only things left in our room were, if I can recall, it was just like this. Oh, what the fuck was on the wall? There were stars with buttons on the wall that we used later, but there was like these other 2 things on the wall, but I can't recall what they were for. But on the door, there were symbols. And you guys ended up flicking on... They had a bunch of light switches. So they flicked it all on, and that turned on a bunch of lights. And underneath the lights were the symbols. So...
And there was some on our side and some on their side.
Yeah. So we had to, So we knew what symbols were the ones we needed, but we didn't know which light switches they were. So we had to like go through each of them and turn off the ones that weren't the ones we needed.
So we'd have to like keep flicking a switch, figure out, okay, what is that? Square. All right, do we need square? No, off, yes, on for each one.
Yeah. We did that. Then both of our doors open, and our group has reunited.
Woohoo!
Yay! And now we're in a room with a cannon. So, I'm trying to remember what happened here.
We're in a room with there's a cannon in the middle. There's again some like stars with like buttons and stuff. Yeah. There's these 2 boxes. And then there's
yes.
And so then I'm like walking around, and I'm just like looking around for anything I can get, and I reach in one of the boxes, and I end up pulling out a coin.
And then I remembered there was a big thing that said token in my room. So I'm like, follow me. And we go and we put the coin in this giant thing, and then tennis balls follow these tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a hole. So basically, we passed the tennis balls to the room with the cannon.
Mm-hmm. I ended up going back to the room with the cannon, and I realized that up high, there's these 3 tubes that are there. And so then if we put the balls in the tubes, it goes through the tubes in their room and then pop out, and it lights something up, right?
Yeah, so I think Natalie clocked that we had to time it perfectly because some tubes take longer. We have to light up all the lights perfectly in time. So we ended up doing that, and it went do-do-do-do and went yay. And then where I originally put the token in, the thing drops, and there's like a dead clown with like blood written on their chest with the name, like I think it was like Mira or something like that.
Yeah.
And this part we kind of did get stumped with because we were like,
because then the only other thing that changed was in the room with the cannon, like a black light went on, and then on this one ammo crate, it said like ready, aim, fire, and then some of the letters had like extra bits on them that were glowing green. And damn, my voice is cracking a lot right now. Jesus Christ, am I going through puberty?
Congrats.
Thanks. And I kept like pointing out that they were glowing, but I couldn't figure out what it meant because I was trying to figure out like, oh, maybe it spells out a different word or this, that, the other thing. And like, we just could not get it no matter what we did. All of us were completely stumped.
And then we kept doing like some silly things, and it was like this, like it's obviously something with Mira, but we could not figure it out. So we were like, let us use a hint, our second hint.
We get unlimited hints because of the difficulty. So this is our second and last hint that we use.
You just get unlimited hits no matter what there.
So it was so hard. They gave us unlimited hints.
Yeah.
So only using 2 is really impressive.
This is our second hint, and the girl explains like looking at the letters on the clown's body, you'll see it on the crate, and you will see the angle. And the angle that it's at, you have to shoot the cannon because the cannon goes 360.
Yeah, so you have to take the cannon and then start it at the star. And then you need to move it like a clock and move it clockwise. And you need to look at the letters that are on the crate. And so the name is like Mira. So you have to find where the M is, and then look at however much the line that's glowing on the M moves. And you have to rotate the cannon that much clockwise and then fire. And then go letter by letter and keep doing that.
And thank God my friend from high school is there because she loves math and she's like in school for coding. So I was like, you can do that. Because she's the one actually, like, while doing the hint, she was like, oh my God, yeah. Because the girl was explaining and I was like, what the fuck? But it was basically like, let's say like the letter L, I don't think it was used. But if you like, you know, like if it's a 9-degree angle, it's a right triangle, they have a little box. That's what they had on the letters. Or they had like the M, they had like that little circle thing to show like the flat line and the angle. Just to like give a little more context. Hopefully that makes sense. But at this point, I decided I'm gonna go explore the room they started at. But they ended up they ended up doing it, and it went boom, 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 boom. And then we were given a bunch of cards.
Yes. And there was a slot for a bunch of cards on the wall, and this board lit up with instructions, basically saying like, "A king
cannot be beside a king."
Yeah, it was giving all of the rules so that you had to like check the rules and figure out what the correct order is. So it's like king cannot be beside king. The like red spades must be next to each other, etc., so that you would figure out which order to put it in. Now there are 7 of us. And there's only like a couple of cards and only so much room that you can stand there and do. So,
however, every few minutes the instructions would go away, and the clown would be like 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Like you give us a number, and then the stars would light up. So if we wanted the instructions back, we would have to hit the stars in the number. So the
stars are all over. They're like, you know, there's one in our closet, there's one in the hallway, one in the room we were in, stuff like that, and each of them has numbers on them.
So I just ended up just staying at number 3 the entire time.
Yeah, I think I stayed at like number 4 or something. And then in between sometimes you would like give me a tour of your room.
Yeah,
and then
I was,
it'd be like, oh fuck, we gotta get into
explaining
positions.
because I was like, I don't know, there's nothing for us to do right now. But then we did it like in like 5 minutes. I think we lost the thing in like, we only lost like 3 times the instructions.
So there's like, at this point, there's like 20 minutes left on the clock. I think maybe like 24 or whatever.
25.
We do that, and the clown comes over the loudspeaker and it's like,
no, that was kind of funny because like a few seconds before, John was like, oh, where's the, like, how much time do you have left? And I was like, we don't have a clock in this room. And he was like, oh, there's a clock in mine. So we start to head over to your room.
Yeah, to go like check the time.
Then we hear boom, boom. And I was like, what?
So it goes boom, boom. Like, you did it. Now use the whatever door and like get out of here. And that's like the final escape door. It even has like an exit sign on it. So we're like, oh, we beat it. And then he goes like, just kidding. You thought it'd be that easy? And we're like, oh, well, of course. There's more to do. And then I didn't really pay attention to the dialogue he said. And then it actually did just end and the door opened.
Yeah, I thought there was more.
So I don't know what happened between him saying like, haha, just kidding, and us actually leaving.
Like the little prank because something it went bang. And
yeah.
And I think that was like the last little like clown little haha trick. But then we escaped with 25 minutes left on a 5 out of 5 difficulty. Only using 2 hints, and that was pretty good. So I've done around 3 escape rooms now from this place, and I'm realizing they really like doing their math because I did a cat one there, and thank God Nick was there because me and Natalie just stared at each other as Nick did math. Because we were like, I don't know how to do this. And it was so silly because we had a call for a hint because we're like, we think we're doing this right. And they're like, have you ever heard of bedmass, brackets, addition? And then I was like, this is a 3 out of 5 difficulty. Like children, like you advertise this as a cats. I feel like kids could do this. And you want them to, like, it was like, whoa. But yeah, they really like their math. I'm learning.
Yeah, I mean, even in our room, like with the dagger thing, Karina ended up just doing a bunch of math and then just telling me which number to do.
Yeah.
So I just put the dagger in that number.
But the night did not end there.
No, it did not. We decided that we were going to go to dessert, and then that would end off the night. So we go to dessert place. It's super packed and busy. We gotta reserve a table. We wait.
It is a Friday night.
We end up going in. I try this like Asian pudding thing. I forget the name of it exactly.
I had mango shaved ice.
Basically, it was Oreos with like condensed milk and whipped cream. It was very good. And I tried some of
mango shaved ice.
I tried some of your mango shaved ice, which that's also pretty good.
So I sat beside Natalie, and Natalie has never had mango shaved ice. And Natalie was like, can I try some? That looks really good. And then 5 seconds later, it was like, that looks so good. I really would love some more. So I had the whole night of Natalie asking for more. And I gave her more. But when I was finally done with it, I was like, okay, you could have it. She was like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, at that point, she moved on to Umer, who hasn't eaten basically like all day. Got actual food, and then she kept looking at his food and just going, damn, that looks really good.
Yeah. And you would think the night ended there.
Yeah, but while we are chilling there eating our dessert, Umer is trying to think of stuff we can do because he ended up showing late, so we didn't really do much with him. And he decided to say, let's go to a casino, to which Jade, I believe it was, said, we probably shouldn't bring John to a casino.
Which is a very valid thing because you have a very bad gambling addiction, as Umer also does. I'm airing them both out.
I thankfully figured this out through games and such. At the worst, which cost me the most money, was like a mini CS case addiction. But yes, I have a very addictive personality, especially when it comes to like gambling and just, like rolling the odds. It's really fun. And so I said like I would never go to a casino because I would just end up running through my money. So he says we should go to a casino. We're like, that's probably not a good idea for John to go, whatever. I think about it a little bit more and I'm like, you know what? I'm down to go to the casino. I will just not spend any money. I'll just sit there and like chill, be there for the vibes.
You know what? That's crazy. I also had that mindset. Yeah, that's crazy.
You had that mindset too?
Because I was exhausted. I was tired, and I was ready to go to bed. But Evan was going to the casino.
Well, no.
I have FOMO.
Hold on. So was Jade. She was very tired, very exhausted, didn't want to go. And so at this point in time, I told Umer, if you want to go to the casino, I will go with you and just hang out. And he said he's down. So Umer and I are going to go to the casino, just us two, because everyone backed out because they're tired. Then Jade, very tired, head in her hands, goes...
Who had a headache.
Yeah, who has a headache, says, like, I'll go. So then, because she's going, Mckenzie says she'll go. And then Natalie says she's, like, not really sure. It's late. She's tired. She doesn't really know if she wants to go. She's going to drop her friend off, and then she'll let us know. And then we get to Mackenzie's house, me, Umer, Jade, and Mckenzie. And Natalie calls me and goes, okay, yeah, I'm on my way. Let's go to the casino. So then going into this, like I said I will not spend any money. I knew if I was taking money out, it would just turn really bad, and I would gamble it all away. Thankfully, I love my friends. My friends are great. Appreciate you, Mckenzie. Appreciate everyone. My friends wanted me to have a little bit of fun. So I was given, in total, across Mckenzie and Jade, I believe it was $30 in cash to go gamble and have a fun time.
Now, I originally was like, I'll give John money. I'm not going to gamble.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did sneak a 50 into my... Not 50. I forget. 20. Yeah. No. I don't know anymore. It's gone. It didn't go well.
However much money it was.
And I was watching Natalie play, and Natalie was winning and then losing and then losing. And I was like,
Well, we walk in the casino, and then we're kind of trying to figure out what to do. First, we're all just grouped around Umer, who immediately, man on a mission, sits down at roulette, and I believe punts away like $100 total.
Yeah, he lost $100 straight away.
So that is gone. And then we walk over, and I'm like, you know what? It's time to start. I want to play. Let's do blackjack. And there's actual tables with real dealers, where you got to look the person in the face. I'm good. No, thank you. There's electronic tables where you can play your own. So Natalie sits at a table. I sit next to her. Umer sits next to me. We all load up blackjack. Umer is showing me how to play.
And I'm just hovering beside Natalie.
Mm-hmm. Umer is showing me how to play because I don't quite... Like, I know how to play blackjack. I played it in GTA 5 a lot. I love blackjack. I actually, I think this was... freshman year of high school, maybe second year.
Gambling club.
I would load up like fake blackjack online on my iPad, and I would just play blackjack for fun because I don't know, it's just fun. And so I know how to play. I just didn't know how to work the machine. So like Umer shows me, I'm like, all right, I only put $10 into this machine at this point. I will play $5 hands of blackjack, and I'll just see where it goes from there. I put $5 in the middle. I press deal. I get dealt blackjack, and I win $10. So then I have $15 in the machine. And I'm like, ooh, awesome. And then head down in silence, pretty much. Just put in $5 hands in, winning most of them, losing a few, a couple of pushes where I just get neutral. But I just keep playing. And on my left, I'm listening to Natalie giggle and keep going, oh, fuck. And she is just running down her $50 into oblivion, losing hand after hand. And then I look back and I like look up at my credits as I'm just grinding this out. And I see that my $10 is now $52. And I'm like, this isn't supposed to happen. This is an anomaly. I'm not supposed to be winning right now. This isn't how gambling is supposed to work. The house is supposed to be winning. So I immediately cash out my slip of $52. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm good. I won. I'm up. No matter what happens in the night, I have won. I hand Mckenzie back her $20 that she gave me. I say, thank you, sir. I am good to go.
No, you
then. No. I give you 20, and then I say no more gambling. I have $152. I am happy. I am good. I'm gonna go find Jade and show her that I won $52. Jade is doing slots. I walk in a circle in this
ended up
massive.
just following Jade all night. That's what I tend to do last time I went to a casino.
But before this, you're still with Natalie at the blackjack table, whatever, and I do a circle looking for Jade. Turns out casino's very big. I don't find Jade, so I succumb and I show back up and I tell Mckenzie, "Give me $10 back. I want to gamble more."
That's what happened. I was like, I swear I only got 10 back.
So then she gives me $10 and I put it back in the blackjack machine and I end up losing it. And I'm like, you know what? I've got the $52 in my pocket. I'm fine.
So I decided that I was going to do slots because blackjack, you know, it's a $5 bet. That's a lot. So I put like $20 into a machine and Jade gave me a 10. I think I got up to like 40 and then I went down and then I went down and then I went down and then I went down.
Now, I'm interested to know
a little bit. I went back down.
Because I don't even fully know what happened with this, but I've been privy to some passive aggressive comments between you two that I've listened to.
Who, me
what
and Jade?
You and Natalie, what happened with the blackjack split situation?
Basically, I had $8 left, and I'm like, let me just spend, like, maybe I can win big with blackjack, because that's actually a strategy game. It's not, like, in the hands of God.
It's not complete random. There is some to it.
Yeah. So I go in, put my $8 in, and I get up to $20. Mm-hmm. That's a big 8 to 20. That's big. Natalie.
Big come up.
So how I got to 20 was I had the option to split my deal, but that would make me take 2. So I was betting 5. So then instead of betting only 5, I'd bet 10.
And she had 2 aces, so then it would split the hands into instead of playing one hand with 2 aces, she has 2 different hands that start out with 1 ace each, and then she gets more cards in those hands.
Yes.
Which an ace is worth 10. It can also be worth like 1 or something, but it's worth 10.
And the dealer busts. So I'm rolling in money, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I should cash out. And I don't know why I didn't, because I made my money back. Natalie was like, nah. So now I was like, Natalie, what do I do? And she told me. And I got back to $3. But the machine beside me also had $3 in it, and no one was playing on it. So like I casually just also cashed them out, and I had $6. So I started walking, and I went to a machine, and I was like 25 cents. So I clicked 25 cents. It then used $5, and I was like, what the fuck? I did 25 cents. And this also happened to Jade, who just won, like, I think she got, like, $30 from playing blackjack or roulette, one of the things. She put it in, and it took $15 out, even though she had 25. So we're like, what the fuck? So we leave that. And then we go to this other gambling machine, and it had a dragon on it. And I got the dragon bonus.
Let's go!
I went from, I think it was it was $1 to $20.
Let's go.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to end off the night with $20. I'm going to cash out. Meanwhile, my sister, she kept going. And she did not only get 1 dragon bonus, she got a tiger bonus twice. She got up to $100.
Yeah,
and I was like, holy.
She was on this machine. She told me that she went in with $60. And after hitting one of like the tiger bonuses or whatever, she was at like $30. So I kind of I made a joke where I was like, "Oh, you're almost there," because she's still like lost half of her money, right? Then she hits the dragon bonus, which basically it spawns a bunch of circles in.
It spawns a bunch of coins, rows. And you want it to be like a full row. So because like if it's three
you want as many coins.
If there's 3 coins beside each other, that's like 2, like depending on the number, it's just like $1 and something cents. So if you get like 5, it would be more money. So you want more coins in a row, bigger money.
And then also in the coins, it like rolls each coin one by one after that into numbers, and you can hit single digit numbers or double digit numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And Jade in the first row only had 3 coins, so this is probably going to be like $1 and some odd cents, right? She ends up hitting an 11, making it $21.13 instead of like $2 and some odd cents. Then later on, she has a row of 4 that was $12.49. And at the top, she had a row of 4, which hit $23.65, plus all of the individual like $9 and like some odd cents here and there and stuff, which ends up skyrocketing her from $22 total in the machine to $100.
Now, we have the whole group around Jade, and I'm sitting beside her because I was just on this machine. And we also had this other guy, like 4 machines down on the same thing, and he also got a dragon bonus. And apparently old people really like to hit the screen because I think it's good luck.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that, and I was very confused on why he kept punching the screen. But I keep seeing them win, and I was like, maybe I'll win. So I put my $20 back in that I won back. And I got 3 cents. Yay! But it was really funny because Natalie, she was scouring.
Yeah. I call it, what did I say? Scalping or something. Basically, Natalie
Allegedly, I don't know if this is legal.
Allegedly, someone that we know, who may or may not be codenamed Natalie. We'll say Natalie, but that's a fake name right now.
Yeah. I don't know Natalie.
Basically, there was machines where people definitely left because they only had like 3 cents or whatever, or say like 30 cents, and you needed 50 cents to play. So they would just walk away, right? And so she would walk up to them and she would cash out the measly cents because she realized, well, if a bunch of people do this, I can get enough to run slots once. So she would go around and she'd get like 5 tickets total, giving her like $1.50, and then she would roll slots like 3 times, get nothing, then cash out the like 16 cents that are left that she can't bet, and then do it all over again, where she would walk around because she lost her $50 in blackjack very quickly.
Yeah. But then we ended the night there at 4 a.m.
Oh, actually, one last side note. I turned my $52 into $52 in cash. That was after standing at the roulette wheel with Umer and going, if I put this on black and it hits, I would double everything that I won. And so then I said, I might have accidentally been somewhat of an influence on Umer, and I would like to apologize to Umer and to Jade for that. Because I was like, all right, listen, let's go just stand at the roulette wheel, right? And I'm going to say a color, and if it hits that color, then it's meant to be, and I'm going to bet my money, and I'm going to end up doubling it, right? So I stand there, and I go, it's going to hit black. And we're standing, and the roulette ball spins, and it hits green. And I go, that's a sign from God. It's not meant to be. I am not betting my money. But then, at this point, Umer is like, I mean, Jade's not looking. I could take out another 100. After being down,
wait, what? He did this?
After being down $200 this night, he's like, I could take out another 100. And I'm like, listen, if losing another $100 would genuinely like hurt your life, do not do it. Walk away right now. And then he's like, nah, I'm gonna take out another 100. And he walks over to the ATM and he takes out $100 in cash. And I go, if you try to take out any more than that, I will tackle you to the floor. This is your cutoff. And he slyly, which at this point, you guys were just like sitting at roulette or something. I don't even know what you guys were doing.
This is when we had the blackjack.
Or blackjack, yeah.
Yes.
And so I am standing there with Umer. He slyly puts the 100 into the roulette table, and I watch him put all 100 onto red.
Oh God.
And it hits. So he now has $200 in the machine.
Oh my God, what?
He now has $200 in the machine and is only down $100. And I said, listen, you can cash out now and have only lost $100 on the night. And he sits there staring at it while the timer ticks down. and he decides to go for the net zero, losing nothing, and he puts $100 down again, and it doesn't hit. And so he now has $100 left in the machine. And I'm like, you can just cash out and take back that 100 and just take the $200 L. It is what it is. It's okay. And he puts the 100 back on it to try to win it all back again.
God.
And it doesn't hit again. And he officially goes down $300 on the night.
I don't know that happened. I had no clue that happened.
Yeah, we got it from the table. I don't know if we ended up telling Jade or not. If Jade listens to this podcast, then I guess she'll find out. But we got up. We were like, all right, we're not talking about this right now. We're not gonna speak of this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I took $10 then I cashed my slip, and I took $10 from my $52, and I was like, I'm gonna play a little bit of blackjack for fun. I'll see if I can spin it more. And I proceeded to get dealt the worst hands in blackjack history. At one point, I went up to $15. That was the peak I would reach. I lost it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to end at $42. I've still profited and come out of this very nicely. Jade said that I didn't have to pay her $10 back. Mckenzie said I didn't have to give $10 of the dollars back. I'd already paid her $10. Love my friends. Love everyone. I won at the casino. I was the only one who ended up fully profiting. Fuck yeah. I was on top of the world.
Now we have just hit 2 hours of the podcast.
Oh.
Do we want to go
Long
and
episode.
run the last day? Cap it all off.
Sure. Last day. Then very funnily, we go to McDonald's because we want to have McDonald's for dinner, and then we pull into the drive-thru. McDonald's, there's people inside, stuff like that. McDonald's tells us they're closed through the drive-thru, so then Jade, who's driving the car, says, "Oh, I'll kill myself then, I guess," and then drives away. So then, yeah, we all go back. It is 3 a.m. at this point. We finished dessert at like midnight, so we stayed out very late. Then
and we were gonna travel at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yep. We wake up the next morning. Natalie picks me up. We get her friend. We get Mckenzie. We hop on a train. Can I say where we went or no?
Yeah, I posted a vlog of Toronto.
Okay, true. We hop on a train and we travel to Toronto. 6. We tried Dave's Hot Chicken. Was very good. Mckenzie did not get it.
I felt sick this day because I barely slept and I had work and I like money and I decided to pick up a shift the next day. So I am very tired and not feeling well.
Dave's Hot Chicken, very good. We go to a mall. I hit the OVO store. You fucking know it. One at the casino. Let's fucking go, baby. I grab. I'm like looking through other stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get anything. And then I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, I'll get something. All right, if you're gonna make me. I grab it's part of their Hometown Heroes collection, a Toronto Maple Leafs OVO shirt. I go up to the counter. I'm like, yes, I would like to purchase this. The guy asks if I have an account. I say, no, I don't live here. So like, I'm not going to bother making an account. He goes, oh, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm thinking, wow, what a nice conversation. No, he immediately goes, and you're getting a Leafs shirt?
That's a fair thing. Leafs suck ass. I don't know why you bought a Leaf shirt.
I have no sports affiliation to home teams. I simply, 1, like Drake, and 2, like Toronto, and 3, like the color blue. So all things combined, go Leafs. Did they lose to the Rangers
Drake
later that night?
Raptors more, doesn't he?
Yes, but Toronto. Did they lose to the
Raptors or Toronto?
Yeah, but I'm saying like no matter what, it's Toronto. Let's go.
No.
Did the Leafs lose to the Rangers later that night?
Probably.
Like 4-1, and then I had to look at
likely.
all of the people walk out of the stadium as they lost. Yes, they did. But get the shirt. I'm very happy. Then we go to an arcade. Now I did not know what to expect with this arcade. A lot of the games ended up being blocked off, so it was a lot smaller than I thought, and it was very packed, very busy.
Now, the funny thing about this arcade is that I saw a social media post about it around 5 years. It was it was like not new, but like I think it was like I don't know. It was my first time I heard it. So I in grade 10 made all my friends go downtown with me to go to this arcade, and we went and they went, "Do you have ID?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Are you 19?" We went, "No." And they're like, "Can't let you in." So this entire time going to the arcade, think it's like a 19 plus arcade because like they serve alcohol and stuff. But nah, the amount of kids there are is crazy.
We go. Natalie and her friend are very excited to show us all of the pinball machines that they have there because they're addicted to pinball and they have the high scores. We find out they have removed all of the pinball machines except for one, which they've never played. We play some arcade games. Mackenzie's friend meets us there. We're playing some stuff. Mckenzie ends up feeling sick, got a headache. She's exhausted, has work in the morning.
I have work the next day.
So she decides to call it early. And I'm like, oh, in case I don't see you, like, bye. It's been fun. She goes, I'll see you again.
Which is not a false statement. I will see you again.
Yeah. I mean, and you even said, like, no matter what, like, I'm going to see you. There's another trip planned for next year in which I will see Mckenzie. And so she left and she was like, let me know when you guys are like back in the home area.
So my thought process was, I was like, I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
But if they get back early, I'll go take my mom's car and we'll go get a final Fruitopia from McDonald's because John loves Fruitopia, and I don't know if you had orange Fruitopia. I thought you just had normal
the entire
Fruitopia.
trip. I'm very sad.
But then I realized Jade took my mom's car because they left, and she didn't take her own car. So I was stranded at my house.
And we spent a long time at the arcade. It was a lot of fun. Played a bunch of games. I ended up winning a mug in total with the tickets. And then we went to dinner at this spot that had really good steak sandwiches and French fries. Delicious. Natalie was very excited to show me.
I had such a good dinner too. My mom made beef with potatoes and cream of corn, and it was really good.
I'm sure that hit because that was, other than a slice of bread, your only meal for the day.
Yeah. So I originally was going to get Wingstop because I like Wingstop. But Wingstop was a 10-minute walk. And everyone had an agenda. So I was like, okay.
I would have been down to go to Wingstop.
Nah.
My bad.
I answered for you.
My bad.
Then I was going to get Shake Shack. But then the thought of eating Shake Shack made me want to throw up. So I was like, I'll get something later. So then I looked at food. And every single thing made me feel like I was going to throw up. So then I was like, I'll get something later. And every single thing made me feel like I was going to throw up. So I was like, okay. Sounds good.
So we had dinner, and then it ended up being like 9 o'clock, and we're headed back to take the train. We missed the 9 o'clock train, so we have to wait for the 10 o'clock train. So I'm like, you know what? It's a good thing Mckenzie went to bed because we're not going to be back until very late. She's exhausted. Got work in the morning. Is what it is. I'll see her in a few months anyways. It's fine. Hop on the train. We got McDonald's so that I could get a last Fruitopia and a little McFlurry, and then we hop on a train. We're riding on the train. Mckenzie ends up waking up briefly while we're on the train. Thank you, because Natalie and her friend are dead asleep in front of me, and I don't know which stop we're supposed to get off at. So I'm texting Mckenzie like, "Yo, what stop am I supposed to get off at in case they don't wake up and I need to like group leader this right now?" So she tells me, I look it up on Google Maps. I'm like, nah, we're good. We're not close. Like, we're chilling. They end up waking up. All is well. We reach the stop. They're like, yo, next stop's the one. We end up getting there. We get up. We're on like the top of the train. We go down and we hop off the train. Now, important to note, when we first got there, I noticed we got there, but then they weren't moving. So then I thought I must have misheard them or misunderstood them, and this wasn't the one. Then they're like, oh shit, we stopped. Like, we have to go before they close the door. So then we rush down, hop out the doors. We made it. The night is done. Natalie on the platform then goes, wait, get back on. This isn't our stop. Get back on, get back on, get back on. So we jump on the train. Then the announcement goes, please stand by. Like, doors are closing. And Karina goes, wait, no, this is our stop. So then they're like, not fighting, but just got, like, Natalie doesn't think it's our stop. And Karina's like, no, this is our stop. Like, we have to get off. So we quickly jump off. The doors close, like, right behind us. And the train starts to leave. And thankfully, it is our stop. We're good to go. Natalie,
I think is like crazy that she couldn't figure out.
Yeah,
she parked there, and she's been there so often.
Natalie was very confused for some reason. It was late. I'll give her benefit of the doubt, but yeah, she didn't realize that it was our stop. Finally, get off. We drop her friend off. She comes back to my hotel room. She rates it. She shits in it. Very good toilet. We watched an episode of Glee. No bidet, sadly. Damn. We watched an episode of Glee, and Natalie heads home for the night. Umer picks me up in the morning, brings me to the airport. Babies cry on the plane. The trip is concluded.
Okay, one thing you did, just because of the theme, rate Dave's Hot Chicken.
Dave's Hot Chicken
Perfect.
Was a 9.5 out of 10. The chicken was delicious and juicy. One thing that I really liked about Dave's Hot Chicken was that they're like, I ended up getting the medium spiciness. And it wasn't just like a sauce. It was like actual spices and stuff on the chicken, which added a lot of flavor. And also the spice combination felt like it was unique enough and flavorful enough to set it apart from other chicken places, which a lot of places fail to do. Whereas it's just like, oh, just another like Nashville hot chicken place or something like that. The fries were crispy and well seasoned. Mckenzie hated on them because she's scared of crinkles.
I just don't like crinkle fries. There's better fry options.
The only reason it didn't get a perfect 10 was I don't like the sauce. Natalie said that it tastes kind of like Chick-fil-A sauce, and I hate Chick-fil-A sauce. So that makes sense.
And that was the trip.
That was also the steak sandwiches. Oh. I gave them a 9.5 out of 10. I think I got to update that to a 10 out of 10 now because I keep thinking about the steak sandwich. It was my first time having chimichurri, and I want to have them again. Delicious.
Yeah, no, you sent me a photo beforehand of what they look like, and I was like, this looks unappetizing.
It was delicious.
But that was the Canada trip. And to end it all off, because I mentioned it earlier, just to briefly talk about it, trigger warning for death. Trigger warning, One Direction. In my last episode, I said Liam Payne is acting weird, and I might have said crazy. And within that episode airing, I believe the next day he passed away. So, not my apologies because he was an abuser before my childhood self who grew up with One Direction. Kind of sad. But it wasn't like Jade. She invited me to go to the memorial today, and I was like, I don't want to go. See, because I don't know. Death, I tend to cope with humor, so.
Yeah.
Shout out to the people, I don't want to say making fun of the death, but just remember, people have different ways to cope and all that jazz. So if I make a One Direction joke on stream, I'm coping.
That's how she copes.
Yes. You should have been here when my grandma died. This shit was crazy.
I was very confused.
But yes, that reminds me, a little 2 hours special for you. And we even had more topics. What time do you think it was?
I haven't looked at the time one bit. I thought it was like 11:30, maybe 12. It is currently 1 a.m.
Yeah. See, I was like, oh, we'll just go through the whole trip. And then we got really in-depth during the escape room.
My bad. You should have told me.
I enjoyed.
Oh, okay.
What's it called? I do have to wake up for a dentist appointment tomorrow, but I was like...
very quickly, briefly... Oh.
No, go.
I was just going to say very quickly, briefly, W's and L of the trip. W, got to see my friends and hang out with them. That was a lot of fun. Missed that. L of the trip would be Dave's hot chicken sauce wasn't good, which everyone has been hyping it up, and I expected it to be good, so that was kind of sad. And also, I didn't end up seeing a movie.
Oh, that is true. You went to a casino instead.
I did. That was also a W, winning 50. Ended up being like $40.
My W of the week is seeing my friends.
Let's go.
And also, I rode a roller coaster. I like roller coaster.
Roller coasters are fun. And
L of the week was, what was I gonna say? Losing at the casino. Yes, that was my L of the week. But yeah, no, I enjoy doing longer than 1 hour episodes because, okay, this is a little selfish. I apologize, but my boyfriend listens to this while he's at work, so I give him more content. It's kind of fun.
All right, guys. No one else is allowed to listen after the hour. The other hour is exclusively for you, Nick. Everyone, plug up your ears.
I did a heart with my hands, and I realized people can't see that. My apologies.
Never mind. I'll tell you that off.
No.
No. I can't tell you on the podcast. It doesn't have to do with you. Don't worry.
We're now gonna go do drugs. I should. Anywho, thank you for listening. Oh, that reminds me.
I realize now.
Twitter's cool.
Yeah, follow our Twitter.
Tweet.
Appreciate you guys listening. Join the Discord.
And if
ask
you've
us questions.
listened this far and you're a real one, put a Canadian flag in chat.
The Discord. Yeah.
Any chat you want. I'm probably gonna forget in the morning that I said to do this. So you'll just confuse me. It'll be great. But yes, thank you. And we'll see you in the next one every Tuesday. Sign it off, John.
Bye. Thank you for listening.